Well, good morning and welcome back to the channel. I am finally outdoors before the sun comes up. It is not quite sunrise. We're still in blue hour for another, 3 or 4 minutes before the sun comes up. And I am standing alongside Parksville Lake in near the Ocoee. I've been wanting, so I get this done between cars, I've been wanting to come back to this spot ever since I took a picture out here in the snow. I think I might have been down river just a little bit from here. I may drive down a little further when I get done here. I brought my Canon R6 Mark II with the 70-200 on it because the spot I thought I had in mind, the trees went out a little further from the road. So I'm going to try to find if that spot is around here close before I get too far along with the sun. But I've got all of these, I think these are cypress trees out here in the water. They're just beautiful. They're really beautiful. When the snow falls and the water freezes over, they're really nice then. But I am shooting a number of shots here. I was shooting a little bit when it was darker. Most of my images are between 15 and 25 seconds. And just trying to get that water calmed down a little bit because the wind is kicked up and the water's a little choppy at the moment. Choppy may be too harsh a word. And I've tried to get some shots with several trees. Right now I'm focusing here at the end on one tree out here in the middle with the mountains in the background. I'm waiting for the sun to come up. It's going to come up right over here somewhere. You can see it up here in the sky maybe. We've got a really big cloud cover, so I'm not really going to get a sunrise as such. But when the light gets a little brighter, I might get a little more. When the light gets a little brighter, I might get a little more interest on that tree. I'm going to kind of wait around to see, because I've got the mountain in the background, or the hills, I suppose, not really a mountain back there, with the changing colors on the leaves, but it's all in shadow, and I'm hoping I can bring that out a little bit in Lightroom. So yeah, this is where I'm at, and this is what I'm doing today, and we'll show you some pictures. So I'm kind of playing around with my neutral density filters. I do have now the 10 stop on there. I started with the 3 stop a little earlier, and then I went to the 6 stop, going between f5.6 and f8 to get a 20 to 25 second exposure. Now I've got the 10 stop on because the sun's coming up, and I am at f2.8 on this tree at 20 seconds. So I'm going to raise that up just a little bit. What does f4 give me? F4 gives me 30 seconds. I'm trying to get as long of an exposure as I can. I don't necessarily want to use my intervalometer to get like a minute or 2 minutes because the water's not that rough, but I do want to get as close to 30 seconds as I can on each of these shots to get a little better feel for the water to get smoothed out. I may take a few shots that are 10 to 12 seconds in order to get the sky maybe not quite so streaked out. Right now, the sky is bright enough I can't really see what's going on with it, so I've got to do something with that here in a minute. But I really like this very, very simple composition. I've got a little bit of this tree to the right in the frame that I'm hoping I can take out in Photoshop and just get that tree in there. And I've got that because I'm trying to get the tree as centered in the picture as possible down on the lower third so that I've got the mountains up here and then the sky above. And You know, there's a part of me that kind of wishes I had brought my 24 to 240 instead of the 70 to 200. Number one, because I could pull back a little bit to get more of this row of trees in over here. Because the 70 is a little too long for that. I did do one attempt at a panorama, but, you know, it was kind of like eyeballing where everything's supposed to be because I didn't have my panorama ball head on here. So I'm not sure that's going to turn out. We'll see. But at the same time, if I could get in just a little closer than 200, and I could walk down the hill a ways and probably get that. And I may try that before I'm done, but right now this is kind of where I'm at. We'll see what happens. Well, at the end of the day, I decided to walk down here by the water, and I'm glad I did. I have a much better shot being flatter along the water. Let me turn this around where you can see it. I'm shooting this tree right here at the moment. I may try this tree right to its left here before I get done. I really like this lone tree right here in the front. There's not much to it at the top, but if I can get that with the 3 trees around it, that might be a good deal as well. So this is what I'm looking at in camera. And we'll take a few more minutes and shoot some pictures here, and then I'm going to see if I can find the other spot I was looking at before I came here. Well, I drove down the road a little ways trying to find a place to turn around, and I came down to Big Creek Access. And I got a couple of shots here. Let me show you where I'm at. And again, it probably would have been better if I had had something besides my 70 to 200, but I did get a couple of shots down along here, both vertically and horizontally, with the fog over the trees, the reflection in the water, and the colors. Hopefully I can bring that out. And then I came around this direction and got a picture here. And I used this tree on the right here sort of as a balance. I was actually, and I'm going to show you the picture so I don't know that it matters, but I was actually down here, so I got a little more of that open space in between there. And I think those pictures will turn out rather nicely. Well, I have stopped at the other location of trees that I wanted to get. I don't really have very much of a shot here, so there's not a whole lot I can do. However, I have just this much wiggle room to get the shot I want. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I have a row of small trees right out here. I mean, they're right in the middle of the lake with those colored trees behind them. But I've got to get in between these leaves and this tree right here. And at the full 200, this is what I'm looking at. And I think that's going to work. I can, if I've got a little bit of these tree leaves on the right, I can get rid of them in post. So I've got my 10-stop neutral density filter on. I'm shooting at f4 at the moment, which is a 30-second exposure. I'm going to take a few more pictures. I'm going to let the sun come up just a little bit more. We're right at the end of sunrise. The nice thing is that because I've got mountains over here, and you see where I'm pointing, I've got mountains over here between me and the sun is not going to be bright for another 15 or 20 minutes maybe. And even then, I've got so much cloud cover it's not really going to bother me that much. I would like it to light up those trees just a little bit more. Maybe if not the ones in the front, at least the ones in the back. So I'm going to hang around here for a few minutes. We'll throw a few pictures up here at the end. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.